Right, okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all my students. So we go into the part 2 of the chapter 5, which is regarding for the parallel axis theorem. Okay, apa maksud dia? Parallel axis theorem can be used to find the moment of inertia of an area about any axis that is parallel to an axis passing through the centroid. Right, so let's say if you have an object and then you know the centroid, and then you say the object is floating around the x and y axis, right? Saya dah bulatkan kat sini. Let's say dia floating. So macam mana? What is the meaning of parallel axis theorem? So we have to calculate from the origin, right? The O here, and then you get the distance, and then you can divide it into the x and y axis punya distance lah for the D, to find the from the centroid of an object. Okay, ni secara roughly lah apa maksud dia in terms of parallel axis theorem. So yang ni penting for your next understanding. Next example kita akan go through. Right, to find the moment of inertia of an area. So yang ni equation dia. Kalau let's say you tak ingat, kita recall balik. Ix is equal to integrate of previously which is y squared times the delta alpha. So bila kita calculate dalam in terms of ni, you boleh tengok by the sebelah ni punya equation. So y tu akan jadi y daripada origin plus y prime. Okay, yang ni just nak roughly lah. Kalau you tak kita dah go through by part 1, which is integration macam mana, tambahkan 1 bahagi 3. Okay, so bila dekat sebelah ni y tu akan jadi 2 lah, sebab kita nak cari distance daripada delta A. Alpha lah, saya assume dia as alpha, sepatutnya dia area. Okay, so bila kita calculate by using the integration, so you akan dapat lah, senang cerita. Yang ni you nak calculate tak ada masalah, cuma the most important thing adalah dua equation yang dekat bawah ni. Okay, dua ni yang important. So you just have to remember. So takkan ada problem lah. Let's say if you want to calculate regarding finding the parallel axis theorem. Okay, nak senang, okay, cara yang paling senang kita by go through for the example. Let's say from the example number 3, determine the moment of inertia for a rectangular shape as shown in figure below with respect to x, b, b. Where is x, b, b? Here. Okay, let's say we have a xy axis upon the centroid. Okay, lain lah. So axis dia tu tiba-tiba pula ada kat tengah rectangular. Okay, yang mana xy. So disuruh cari in terms of x, b, b. So macam mana kita just apply yang saya dah tick tadi, which is I x b b equals to I x bar plus AD squared. Okay, ni je basic ni. You just have to remember. So yang untuk yang ni you dapatkan daripada table. Alright, for the rectangular in terms of Ix, so kita akan carilah H2 adalah Y punya axis. Okay, so bila you all calculate, you akan dapat lah yang ni. Let's say yang ni adalah B, this one adalah H. Okay, so bila you all masukkan values, you akan dapat lah for the BH cube divide by 12 plus BH is the area of the rectangular, B times H area, and then from the D squared, okay, D squared this one lah, D squared equals to H divide by 2. Okay, dia sama distance dia, the same distance from the centroid, sebab kita nak cari with respect to x, b, b. So ingat so soalan akan ada little bit confused. So biasanya soalan takkan bagi senang lah. So you all kena ingat. So bila you all calculate, you akan dapat lah values dia macam ni. Right, and then for the next example, example number 4. Determine the moment of inertia for the rectangular shape as shown in figure with respect to x axis. Right, let's say we have a rectangular which is floating. Right, dia tergantung lah, dia tak ada terkena distance dia ke dekat mana-mana in xy axis. So dekat sini macam mana kita nak calculate. Okay, sama je. konsep dia. Okay, you kena ingat lah yang ni dia ada floating. By applying the parallel axis theorem, we get this equation which I have mentioned it previously. And then we find from the table for the Ix bar 1/12 BH cube. So we have to know which is B, which is H. Okay, yang mana satu base, yang mana satu height. And then plus A D Y squared. Alright, so ingat so yang macam nak calculate untuk this one. Okay, kita dapat untuk B tu 8/6, and then untuk area macam biasalah rectangular 8/6. Okay, and then for the DY, okay, sebab kita cari IX, so dia in terms of DY. Okay, DY maksudnya dia daripada parallel kepada Y axis lah. So 1 plus 3 kita dapatlah 4 squared. So bila kita calculate, kita dapatlah values 912 meter to the power of 4. I think it's clear for now. Okay, at least you get the ideas what is the meaning of the floating axis. Okay, and then for the next part, which is for the radius of gyration. What is radius of gyration? Which is gyre radius of a body about an axis rotation defined as the radial distance of a point of axis of rotation. If the whole mass of the body is assumed to be concentrated, its moment of inertia about the given axis would be the same as which its actual distribution of mass. Right, so apa maksud dia dekat sini? Senang je. Okay, kalau you all nak baca secara details, you all akan pening. You just tengok dekat sini, what is the meaning of K, lebih kurang macam floating lah. Okay, so you just have to remember, let's say if you have any question which ask you to find the radius of gyration upon the x-axis or y-axis, so you must know the x and y axis, and then you will get the equation. Equation dia just very simple, which is for the kx, ix divided by a square root, and then untuk radius of gyration untuk y pun sama, untuk z yang lain sikit. Okay, which z equals to jo. Okay, what is jo? Kita recall balik from the part 1. This is the jo. Okay, which is the pole about the o ataupun z axis lah, polar moment of inertia. You just have to remember. Okay, takkan ada problem. Untuk next part kita akan go through example. Okay, untuk this one lah, determine the moment of inertia, nanti kita akan go through for the another videos. Sebab ini mungkin jalan kira dia panjang sikit, so saya akan buat in next videos lah, senang sikit. Okay, alright, thank you.